to order. Roll call of aldermen.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Hazel.
Here.
Alderwoman Duco.
Here.
Alderman Pusa.
Here.
Alderman Randall.
Here.
Alderman Ferguson.
Here.
Alderman Anthony.
Here.
Alderman Ovian.
Here.
Alderman Dintelman.
Here.
Alderwoman Schaefer.
Here.
Alderwoman Steele.
Here.
Alderman Rothweiler.
Here.
Alderman Elmore.
Here.
Alderman Wygant.
Here.
Alderman Wiggington.
Here.
Alderman Barfield.
Here.
Okay, everybody's present. Roll call department heads.
City Treasurer Hart. Here. City Attorney Horner.
Here.
Police Chief Bill Clay.
Here.
Fire Chief Tom Poor.
Here.
Finance Director Jamie Matrit.
Here.
Director of Maintenance Ken Vaughn.
Here.
Director of Public Works Jason Poole. Director of Wastewater Randy Smith.
Here.
Director of Residential and Commercial Development Anissa McCaskill.
Here.
Director of Library Leander Spearman.
Here.
Director of IT Scott Markovich.
Here.
City Engineer Michael Beloff.
Here.
Human Resources Manager Emma Qualls. Here. Jason Poole.
Yeah, Jason Poole was excused today. He had a vacation day. I don't think, John, are you on the line? I didn't ask him to. I forgot, actually. So, yeah, I gave Jason a last-minute vacation day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Muted.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Unmuted.
Okay, at this time, we do not have any public hearings, but public participation. I'm sure we have some people on the line. I will ask, and please be patient until I recognize you and then give your name. Try to keep your comments to 2 to 3 minutes and about tonight's, preferably something that's on the agenda. Is there somebody this evening that's ready to speak about anything with the agenda? Who would like to go?
Yes, I'm Laura Blaze.
Who is this?
Laura Blaze, B-L-A-E-S.
Okay, you get the last name. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
And good evening. I'm Laura Blaze, and I've worked at libraries for the past 30 plus years and at Belleville Public Library since 2005. I am one of the staff members under discussion tonight, excuse it all. I am obviously concerned about what the loss of my job will mean to me emotionally and financially, but your job is to do what is right for the city of Belleville, for its people. I believe we should keep the library fully staffed, and here's why. The 8 union employees who are going to be suggested for layoff tonight represent 33% of the library staff. 1/3 of the staff is suggested to be cut. Yes, we are all part-timers, but we provide the support and backup so that all library employees have flexibility, have time to really assist people, and to provide patrons the one-on-one help they deserve. We provide the opportunity for longer library hours. In order for all of us to stay safe, at least for the foreseeable future, our services are going to have to be provided behind plexiglass and masks over the phone or at the curbside with the barrier of a car between us and our patrons. Serving our community isn't going to get easier. I see it becoming more challenging and requiring more time, patience, and diligence than ever. And we're going to do this with fewer staff that does not add up. I also want to point out that about half of the libraries in St. Clair County have reopened for patrons to come into their buildings. I have to wonder why our library administration hasn't managed for Belleville Public Library to lead the way in our larger community and open its doors. As the city council, I know you don't want our library to be one of the last in the county to open. We should have been one of the first. And now management wants to cut staff. It is a dangerous, slippery slope when any library services are cut. It becomes easier to make the next cut and the next until your library is a place people don't want to be or can't be because the hours aren't flexible enough to accommodate them. In the end, I trust the city council to take into account solutions that will help make all of Belleville stronger, but tonight, most especially, to keep the library strong. Thank you for hearing my concerns.
Thank you. Who might be next? Who would like to be next?
I would like to be next.
Yes, ma'am. Your name?
This is Linda Mayer. I'm the president of the Friends of the Library, and I would like to speak up and say that the library needs to open as soon as possible. Primarily, I'm concerned about the people who need to use the computers to search for a job because the pandemic has created made many people lose their employment. They need to use the computers. Other libraries have the computers usable by spacing them in the library and placing a silicone cover over the keyboard, which can be disinfected after each use. Thank you for listening to my comment.
Thank you, ma'am. Who would like to be next?
I would like to be next.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Becky Klein, and I'm the president of AFSCME Local 1765, representing the Belleville Public Library. Mayor Eckert, since the beginning of Phase 4, the library has only been able to provide curbside pickup. Because the library is seemingly unwilling to meaningfully move forward, they are not only losing staff, but many patrons as well. Furthermore, Mr. Spearman has told his staff that they will not be opening the doors this year. He claims that he will absolutely not make his staff guinea pigs and that most libraries in the area are closed. This is grossly inaccurate. I have been able to walk into over half of the libraries in our county within the last week, and they have been open since June. I engaged with their directors about the steps they took to be open to the public, staff safety, and what their next steps would be. These libraries are not doing anything extraordinary. They are following the basic principles of mask wearing, hand washing, providing hand sanitation stations at the front doors, social distancing, and wiping down surfaces regularly. They have plexiglass and other partitions in place to further keep their staff safe. If these directors were willing to talk to me as a union representative, they will readily engage with my director, the board, or any other party governing the Belleville Public Library. One of the best conversations I had with one of these directors focused on the staff knowing what their patrons need. This pandemic only emphasizes those needs. The patron needs computer access as they find themselves unemployed. Parents need to be able to quickly obtain materials for their child stuck at home, remote learning. And then you have several patrons who just really need a few minutes of this new normalcy and the community institutions that they rely on. Surely, if patrons are able to go to to go grocery shopping in person, they should be able to handle picking out all material, assuming the same risk. Instead, focus has been misplaced on the importance of side services that are largely not useful to the community in this moment. With a $1.3 million budget, the patrons deserve more than a locked-up library with its employees lurking around in the dark. I do not know of any legitimate business that has been able to profit off not offering what their public needs. The public, all the employees of the library, Leander Spearman, and certainly those 8 employees being laid off tonight, need the library to be successfully productive. Our union demands it and will use all means at our disposal to attain it. I feel my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hello? We can't hear you.
Yes.
We couldn't hear whoever's speaking.
Hello?
Yes, who's next?
Somebody has a
My name's
TV or
Christina
something
DeBoer.
on. Can you please mute your phone? There's
There's a-
background noise from a
there's a
TV or something.
TV or radio or something.
Yes,
Who's,
sorry, I've got the city council meeting pulled up on my Facebook page too, because I was having trouble hearing it over my phone.
okay. And what's your name, please?
My name is Christina DeBoer.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, my name is Christina DeBoer, and I'm calling with regards to the Belleville Public Library. The library provides vital services to taxpayers. Other libraries have found a way to bring back their staff and provide these services. Now, more than ever, these services are important to the taxpayers, as the ongoing pandemic creates uncertainty in all of our lives. Practical services such as computer access and internet service allow people to reach out to family and friends they may not otherwise get to talk to or see, and to search for jobs many people have lost during this crisis. The books and other forms of entertainment loaned out by the library provide an escape from the stresses every one of us are facing in our lives right now. While I know it's impossible for things to return to the normal we all know, other libraries have found a way to expand these necessary services to their constituents. I feel it's time for the Belleville Public Library to follow in their footsteps and find a way to serve the taxpayers of Belleville in a way that will truly make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi. My name is Jolie Neal.
Okay.
Yes, I was calling on, because I received a call telling me about the tax hike that's supposed to be going up in Belleville. I am a client with a storage facility in Belleville, Royal Heights storage facility.
Okay.
And I have been a client there for a year, and they've been nothing but great. And they was informing me that Belleville is trying to raise taxes. And I'm like, oh no, not in a time like this. You know, with the pandemic going on, people are losing their jobs and everything. There's no way we can afford. You know, a lot of parents out here can barely figure out how to put food on the table, let alone, you know, hiking up prices for storage fees. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we thank you for your comments, ma'am. Who's next?
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Go ahead.
My name is Katie Gary. I am a part-time employee at the West Branch Belleville Public Library. We need to get our libraries back open. Belleville has many poor and elderly taxpayers who cannot afford computers. Many of these patrons come to the library to use our computers. We need assistance using them for job hunting, unemployment services, SNAP, and other government services. Unemployment is very high right now, and people need to be able to pay their bills and taxes. The library also has a steady flow of people who come in to use our copier and fax machines. Many of them require assistance to complete their tasks. Our patrons don't just come into the library to pick up books and movies. Many of our patrons come to the library as a place of safety and comfort. I feel the library staff has made a difference in many people's health that have mental and emotional issues. Many of these people have little contact with other people. These are frightening times for all of us. Belleville residents need our support. We need to get them through this. They know our names and we know theirs. Belleville residents pay a specific task just for the library. They deserve to have their money used for that exact purpose. Other local libraries have opened, so why can't Belleville's libraries open? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else this evening?
Yes, I'll speak.
Who's this?
My name's Alex Nerd.
Okay.
I am with Gateway Storage Mall. We own 3 storage facilities in the city of Belleville. I would like to speak tonight on having the aldermen vote no for this new proposal on the tax hike. You have heard not only from other storage tenants, but you have heard from even other constituents in regards to the library and other services that everybody is in a really extremely tough spot right now, and putting more added pressure onto our tenants will hurt them and put them at an unfair advantage at a time of need when they're in. A lot of our tenants are living month to month on their paychecks right now, and this is not just because of COVID, but a lot of times before this pandemic has happened. And the slight increase of taxes, and yes, I do know it would only be slight and only be a few dollars on some bills, but multiple, $10+ on some other bills. That's very hurtful to not only the tenants, but also the business, because a lot of our tenants will, up and move for $3 or $4. We've increased rent in the past for $3 or $4, and they move over to Swansea and other neighboring communities because all of our facilities are on the border of either St. Clair County, Swansea, and other direct competitors, which would be a very, really tough for us because seeing a tax hike like this, they will move for those reasons. We are a family business. It's myself and my father who run these facilities, and most of the facilities in Belleville are a family business. There are a few developers who have invested money into these larger properties, but for the most part, it's more mom and pop style, as they call it in the industry, where it's these family businesses that have started. And my father and I have invested money into this place, not big corporation money. It's our own money invested in these facilities, converting an old abandoned car wash into storage facilities and putting additional money into that. So much so that this is now my full-time job, and I've been working this full-time. But I can see that as detrimental if we add extra taxes. That'll be a direct hit to our tenants and ourselves, because we'll have to rearrange our business model, which is not what we planned for in this year or the coming years because of that. So at this point, I just ask that the aldermen can recognize this and vote no to this proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Who's next?
I can go ahead and talk if you don't mind. My name is Trent Overfield.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your name?
Can you repeat your name, please?
First name's Trent, last name's Overfield.
Okay.
I was a gentleman that was recently up for a vote to put in a self-storage facility in one of your vacant retail spaces. I think it was a former grocery store. Moving in or looking to put a business into your community. I've had several meetings with your planning staff, and this tax was never mentioned until the last few weeks, and so it was very concerning to hear that come through. And I wanted to speak on a few points, kind of what the self-storage business is and who our tenants are. The time right now is not the time to impose a sales tax. This is the most uncertain time as far as a business owner in the self-storage industry as we've ever faced. Not only our rents are dropping due to the economy, but our delinquencies are rising due to job loss and all the folks that are laid off due to COVID. And so with this, the taxes over the last decade on self-storage have consistently raised, and we're at an all-time high right now compared to what they were 5 or 6 years ago. And so the timing on, as far as an ownership right now is terrible. Then I want to talk about on who our tenants are. the majority of our tenants, our product's a need-based product. Everybody that comes to us is in need of help of some way, and usually it's using our space to either move homes, downsize. Right now, there's people that are going to be not able to pay rent, and so we'll have an influx of these people that really need help. And it would be a shame to see the city of Belleville impose a tax onto the residents at this very time. I think this bill or this tax can get tabled for a few years down the road. Let's see what happens with this virus and make sure that you're not putting added pressure on the folks of the community and the business owners. Most of these people are, and us, we're all a family-ran business. You only have one or two of these national companies, and it puts a big strain when communities start imposing tax that wasn't originally budgeted in. And so I'd be an advocate really hope that you guys turn this bill down and maybe revisit it at some other time, but
Okay.
right now it's just not the time.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Anyone else this evening? Okay,
Could I make a comment about the library, please?
and your name? What's your
This
name?
is Linda DeBoer calling.
Yes?
Linda DeBoer.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling to support the library. First, I want to say thank you to the city council and everyone there because I know you have a nightmare job. I love the city of Belleville. I always want to see it promoted. I really want to see the library open for students and for particularly the jobless. And I'd really like to see, since Belleville was one of the first to form any kind of a library in the state, I would like to see us take the lead instead of having to follow others. Thank you very much for all that you're doing.
Okay, thanks, Linda. Anyone else? Okay, hearing no one else, I'm going to close public participation. Who's this?
This is Dan Crockett, and I wanted to speak on the concerns with the library.
What's your last name?
So I just wanted to, Crockett,
And give me your first name. Jenny didn't get yet. Bill?
sorry, it's Dan.
Dan Crockett. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to speak on the concern of the library layoffs and reiterate the concerns of my fellow citizens. So with the coronavirus pandemic and the limitations to traditional resources, such as schools, which I understand some are reopening or going back to a hybrid model, that having access to the public library is of utmost importance. It is unfortunate that we have had to close the library due to the coronavirus situation, but hearing from a lot of the employees, it doesn't seem to be a lack of interest for them to open the libraries back up. It seems to be more a point of the city wanting to keep them closed, but not providing much justification for it other than a fiduciary concern.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anyone else this evening so we can move on with the meeting? Anyone?
Michael Hagberg.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is about the storage tax, sales tax. I've heard no estimate about the amount of revenue that this sales tax will be generated. There's also been no discussion as to costs for the city for the monthly collection, posting, and reporting of the sales tax revenue. Will this require another employee? And what are the salaries and pension obligations of additional employees? How will compliance be monitored? Will this also require additional employees? And it seems like we might be spending $75,000 to collect $40,000 in tax revenue. Nobody really knows. I think there needs to be a study done before blindly proceeding with this new sales tax. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else this evening?
This is Joni Schaefer.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yes, I would just like to add some comments that we haven't already talked about. My
Okay.
name is Joni Schaefer, and I'm here to speak in my role as the current president of the Illinois Self-Storage Association. I do live locally, however, I do live 1 block out of the city limits. When my husband and I purchased our self-storage facility, there was not one for sale here in Belleville, so we bought one in a different town. I would like to update my comments from Thursday, and I will try not to repeat anything that anyone else has said. So I've heard that there are too many facilities in Belleville, and here's what I know about buying a facility. A smart businesswoman or man will do his or her homework and analysis and won't build when a city has reached its saturation point for storage. Good business owners won't open where a facility isn't needed. And let me talk about existing sales tax. Right now, self-storage facilities do pay sales tax in 2 areas. First, they pay sales tax on products they sell. They include items like moving boxes, locks, gloves, moving dollies, and packing supplies. Second, as part of the unintended consequences of a statewide law targeting Chicago parking lots, these facilities now pay 9% sales tax on vehicle storage. Belleville does need to be business-friendly, so other businesses will choose Belleville as home. This proposal sends the opposite message to those future endeavors when potential business owners see the rules detrimentally changing on current businesses which have already committed to Belleville. This hurts the city of Belleville as well. I ask that you vote no on this proposal, and thank you for letting all of us speak and being at the council every week, even when the rest of us aren't.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, I'm going to close public participation. Thank you very much. Very good comments. At this time, I move on to presentations, recognitions, and appointments. I got several appointments tonight. I'd like to read 7A through 7F. These are all for the Human Relations Commission. I'd like to read these together if no one opposes.
Please read them together.
Okay, so my first recommendation is that I would like to appoint as mayor, I would like to recommend that the council approves the appointment of Lynn Clapp to serve a 2-year term on the Human Relations Commission. The next one would be I'd like to recommend the reappointment of, well, that should have been a reappointment on Lynn Clapp. He's been on there for many years. The next one is to reappoint Aaron Connor to serve a 3-year term on Human Relations. The next one is to reappoint Pam Federers to serve a 2-year term on Human Relations Commission. The next one, D, will be to recommend the reappointment of Ramona Johnson to serve a 3-year term on Human Relations Commission. The next one will be to recommend the reappointment of Dee Dee Nowak to serve a 2-year term on the Human Relations Commission. And the last one from that group would be to recommend the reappointment of Rose Wilson to a 2-year term on Human Relations Commission. Do I hear a motion? What?
Schaefer?
Motion by Schaefer, second by
Ferguson.
Duco?
Ferguson. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions about this group from Human Relations I read? Roll call.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
hey, did you read, read Rose Wilson, did you read 7G?
No, I'm gonna do that one separate. I'm gonna do that one separate. I did all the human relations together, okay?
Got it.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to recommend the appointment of Tom Bell to serve a 4-year term on the Electrical Commission in the capacity of a consumer member of the general public. Do I hear a motion?
Schaefer.
Schaefer and Pusa. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Schaefer, second by Pusa, to approve Tom Bell to serve on the Electrical Commission. Any questions? Roll call.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella.
Motion carries, thank you. Approval of minutes, I'd ask for a motion to approve the city council meeting minutes of September 8th, 2020. Do I hear a motion?
Wiggington, so moved.
Wiggington, do I hear a second?
Schaefer.
Schaefer, we have a motion by Wiggington, a second by Schaefer, to receive and file the city council minutes of September 8th, 2020. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, roll call.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Motion carries. This time I'd ask for a motion to approve the claims, payroll, and disbursements. The claims and disbursements in the amount of $1,262,952.70, and the payroll in the amount of $805,297.47. Do I hear a motion?
Anthony, so moved.
Anthony, do I hear a second? Steele makes the second. Any questions or, additions or questions, subtractions, or anything on these two motion, on this motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco.
Aye.
Motion carries. We go on. 11A, Alderman Ovian, you want to take the traffic motions?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to
Can
go
we
ahead and
Group?
Go ahead.
Go ahead and withhold 11A3, as it needs to go ahead and be sent back to the traffic committee for the possibility it may need to go ahead and be changed.
Okay, so,
Otherwise, I'd rather go ahead and 11A2, 11A4, and read them together.
Okay, go ahead with the understanding that we're tabling 11A3 and sending it back to traffic. Go ahead.
All right, 11A1, motion for no parking on both sides of the street for first block of South Delaware from East Main Street to the end of the block. 11A2, motion for one person disability parking space in front of 300 North Street and VFW Post 1739. 11A4, motion for free parking, curbside pickup in public parking lots at Main Library, 121 Washington Street, east corner of the parking lot, and 2 parking lots at West Branch Library, 3414 West Main Street, northeast corner of the parking lot near the. So moved.
Elmore, second.
Okay, we have a motion from Alderman Ovian, a second from Elmore, to approve the traffic motions from 11A1, 11A2, and 11A4, and to table 11A3. Any comments on those as read? Roll call.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa.
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time, I'd like to ask for someone to make a motion to approve the sales proposal with Spectrum, what is that, VoIP? In the amount of $3,159.48 monthly for a new city phone system. A 30-day trial period will be implemented prior to authorizing the proposal. Do I hear a motion? Then we'll explain a little further. Is anybody willing to put this on the floor?
Hazel.
Hazel makes a motion. Do I hear a second? And say Schaefer. I think at this time, Jenny, do one of you want to explain that Scott, you can explain, you're going to get up here? Scott Markovich has got some comments and some explanation. We've been having a horrible time with our phone systems. So this is unexpected, but we're trying to move forward.
Good evening. So the company that was selected was based on the fact that our current phone system provided by Verizon has not been able to support or maintain the service that is necessary at all of our workstations, including main city hall, receptionist area, and police dispatch. So the functionalities that they've been unable to correct for us has forced us into a position where we've had to research a new phone company, and this one has provided the greatest number of services, the best quality we were able to find at the best price so far.
Okay, and I think Jenny would gladly agree with me that the phones in dispatch at the police station and the phones at City Hall, we've had a lot of problems.
Yes.
We've had multiple problems. Believe me, we wouldn't be trying to change phone services again. But this, in talking with Jamie, Garrett, and staff, this seems to be the right thing. Trust us. We're not happy what we got right now. Okay. So with that, if there's no further questions, we have a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote.
Mayor, I have a question.
Okay.
This is Ovian.
Yes.
I had just bought a new Apple iPhone and from Spectrum, and the service provider for Spectrum is Verizon. So is this going to be a problem for the city?
No, it's a different spectrum. Scott's gonna explain, right, Scott? Should've brought roller skates.
I need to bring another microphone back. Alderman Ovian, the Spectrum VoIP service that's listed on the agenda for tonight is a separate company that is not affiliated with Charter Spectrum that is here local in the Midwest.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Thank you, Scott.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second on 11B1. Hearing nothing further, roll call.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Gentleman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to cancel the downtown trick-or-treat event approved by council on March 2nd, 2020 pursuant to section 111.065A2 of the city's revised code of ordinances in order to avoid imperiling or materially endangering the public health, morals, safety, or welfare based upon ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We hate this, but there's no way we can have a couple thousand children downtown this year. It's just not gonna work. So do I hear a motion to cancel?
Ovian.
Ferguson and Ovian. Any questions about this necessary decision? Any? Roll call.
Randall?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mayor, with respect to this motion tonight, do we have plans to cancel trick or treat across the city as well?
No, sir, I do not. I don't know that I have the city has the authority, or maybe we made some adjustments to the hours years ago, but, you know, I'm hoping that parents have enough sense to make that judgment call, but you can certainly, we haven't talked about that. This is about the massive gathering downtown where we have literally 4,000 or 5,000 people. Now, I am talking with department heads about possibly requesting candy from some business owners and having the fire department and or police department. I can't guarantee we're gonna be down all streets, but try to go down different streets throughout the city, and if they see children out, give them some candy. And we're gonna try to do that. We're working on the logistics of that, but it's just not safe to have a big gathering this year. If there's no more questions, roll call.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Gentleman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve records disposal certificate dated August 7, 2020 for various city offices and treasurer's office. Do I hear a motion?
Schaefer.
Schaefer, and who was the second? Ferguson. We have a
Ferguson.
motion and a second to approve that, coming from our city clerk, bringing that information. If there's no further questions, roll call.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dillman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Consilla,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, we go to streets and grades. Alderman Wiggington.
Mayor, with the consent of the council, I'd like to read these 9 items as one block. We just approved these earlier this evening in streets and grades. They're all pretty academic, so with your consent, I would like to read them together.
I have no problem. Just remember on that
Fine.
first one, you got to include waiving the bidding procedure for Sonnenberg.
We got it.
Proceed.
All right, we just said it. Okay. Motion to approve Sonnenberg Asphalt Company to seal city parking lots located in 10th and West Main, 14th and West Main, 407 East Lincoln, 510 to 512 West Main, and City Hall in the approximate amount of $23,434. And in this situation, we will be waiving the bid process. Our city engineer reached out to several different asphalt companies. We got no response except from Sonnenberg, and we think it's a very fair bid. Everybody's busy now; they're all behind because of the inclement weather. So we went ahead and approved this with Sonnenberg Asphalt. Going on to number 2, motion to approve 65th Street easement upgrade, west by Amarillo, Illinois, for $12,625. Easement number 8.0. Number 3, motion to approve 17th Street easement upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $500. Easement number 96.01. Left C, motion to approve 7th Street easement upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $500. Easement number 100.101. 11C5, motion to approve 17th Street easement upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $500. Easement number 107.01. 11C6, motion to approve 65th Street easement upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $9,250. Easement number 46.01. 11C7, motion to approve 65th Street upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $16,225. Easement number 10.01. 11C8, motion to approve 65th Street easement upgrade requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $11,050. Easement number 55.02. 11C9, motion to approve 65th Street easement expansion requested by Amarillo, Illinois, for $550. Easement number 59.01. So moved.
Motion by Alderman Wiggington coming from streets and grade. Do I hear a second?
Gentlemen.
Duco.
Diddleman. We had, he beat you by a split second. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions about those motions just read? Hearing none, roll call.
Dillman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Consilla,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco, Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Pusa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Motion carries. We go on to Economic Development. Mr. Alderman Kinsella.
Mayor, there are two economic development motions. I'd like to make them together if that's reasonable.
Are you folks okay? Go ahead.
Aye.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first point is 11D1, a motion to approve a development agreement with McCullough's Flooring Enterprises Incorporated for the remodeling and expansion of the existing facility located at 4400 North Belt West. 11D2, motion to approve an amended development agreement with Women World of Beauty, WWOB, LLC, for the remodeling of the existing facility at 7306 Westfield Plaza. Note, the sole amendment to the agreement is an extension of the project completion date to August 31, 2021, and I so move.
We have motion by
Ferguson, second.
Okay, motion by Kinsella, second was by Ferguson on these two motions coming from Economic Development. Are there any questions or comments about these two motions? Hearing none, roll call.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Motion's carry. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve rehiring two former police officers, Brittany Newport. Last date on the payroll was July 1st, 2020, and Jacob Fowler, last date on the payroll was May 12th, 2020, as lateral entry employees effective Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020 at 12:01 a.m. Do I hear a motion?
Anthony, so moved.
Anthony and Duco. Anthony and Duco. Do I hear any questions, any comments? Roll call.
Yes, Mayor, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Randall?
Go ahead.
With the addition of two officers coming back on board, what will our full-time employed officers be?
Chief Clay, are you on the line?
73. This is the chief.
We'll be at 73. We just,
Thank you.
I guess they just approved the list the other day, didn't they, Chief? Last Thursday?
They did, Mayor.
So
They
we
did last
finally got a hiring list back, and we will monitor that and see what we can do and how we'll look at the money and we'll look at the list, and now we got a list so we can talk about, but we're at 73 when these two come back. Okay? All righty, we have a motion, we have a second, roll call.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderman Wiggington, Ordinance and Legal Review.
Okay, thanks, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to consider ordinance ending chapter 34, taxation, by adding sections 34.048, self-storage facility accommodations tax. There was no recommendation from Ordinance and Legal Review Committee. So moved.
So we have a motion.
Second. To approve.
Okay, our motion was made by Wiggington and Rothweiler seconded. Okay. I will open discussion. Who wants to go first?
Rothweiler would like to.
Rothweiler, go ahead.
Okay, to the citizens, the tax-paying residents of Belleville, the storage facility owners, and to the fellow aldermen, council, first of all, let me say that I support this motion and ordinance to establish a small, very small tax on storage facilities, etc. I'm generally opposed to taxes and fees. Nobody likes taxes. I haven't had anybody call me requesting to have a tax placed on them. I have had people talk to me about their real estate bills. I want to talk about two things: fairness and necessity. The first thing is fairness. Storage facilities, they require police and fire protection like every other business in Belleville, whether it's downtown, whether it's Belleville Crossing, whether it's Target, whether it's Walmart, etc. They all require police and fire protection. Those things cost money. Our businesses downtown pay sales tax. I'm sure they would be very pleased not to pay any sales tax. I'm sure that Walmart would be happy to pay no sales tax. Our car dealers would be happy to pay no sales tax, but they do. That's in addition to their property taxes, which they pay and storage facilities also pay, without question. It's a matter of fairness to have storage facilities pay a tax just like everyone else has what the city needs. It's a matter of necessity. As you just heard Chief Clay say, we're down in 73. We're going to hire some more. Besides that, we're authorized for 84. We haven't been able to afford that level in the past. We've had a declining sales tax. If you look at the figures that we have, sales taxes have continued to go down. And storage is not a necessity. I understand that for some that it may well be a necessity, but overall it's really not a necessity. I don't think Walmart, Target, or any other stores have said, well, we're just going to get rid of the sales tax for you because of necessities. They haven't done it. There is never a good time to impose a fee. I guess the best time to impose a fee is if you don't own one of the businesses. But nonetheless, there's never a good time to impose the fee. This is a small fee to replace virtually a minuscule amount of sales taxes that these businesses generated in their locations previously, whether it was Shop and Save on North Belt West, whether it was the old Walmart building on Carlisle. Those buildings had businesses in them that generated significant sales tax revenues for us per year. Those sales taxes are gone. Belleville has a great number of storage units, and the market will decide what the number of storage units should be in the community. I don't think that a small tax is an issue in terms of a necessity item. While storage is important to some, it is not an item necessary to live. And as a result of that, there would never be a good time. Now is the time. We have lost a significant amount of sales tax revenue. COVID-19 has hit us extremely hard, and our library employees that are being laid off, et cetera, they can attest to that fact. So therefore, I urge you to support this small, very small fee, $2 on some units to $5 on other units, fee to increase the revenues. And there is an expectation on my part that those revenues will be used to increase public safety, e.g. the police department, to ensure that we have a police department that is able to respond to the needs of the community and to address the crime issues in our community. Without it, we are starving the public safety of this community and the police and fire departments. Thank you.
Who would like to speak? Anyone else?
Ovian.
Yes, sir.
I would like to propose that we go ahead and table this motion tonight, and I'm going to say why. 2 years ago, I went ahead and put forth an effort and went to 4 communities, Mascoutah, O'Fallon, Fairview Heights, and Edwardsville, and got copies of their fee structure and compared them to what we charge. We are severely undervalued on our fees. I was told that we would go ahead and do a comparison, and we've never brought it up, we've never discussed it, and we've never done anything about it. Amy Maynard was given all of those schedules from these different communities. I think we need to look at the fee structure and see if this is a way out. Thank you.
Okay. So are you? Schaefer, go ahead.
Okay, so I would like to see this table just for this sole fact. I would like to see first, how many storage facilities truly are there in the city limits? Because we truly do not know totally. How much revenue this truly will create? How and who will keep track of all the facilities that they're paying, the accountability? Will they be charged for all units occupied and unoccupied, or just occupied, and who's going to take care of that? And I know that there's comments made that many of these storage facilities sell things like boxes, locks. I'd love to know what the sales tax revenue is on that. But I just think right now we have too many unanswered questions, and I'd like them answered before I say yes to something, because I'm in favor, but I have to make sure that all my questions are answered before I can make a truly educated vote.
Anyone else?
Mayor Hazel.
Hazel.
Yeah, so my comments are this, on this issue. First off, we do need to know, I have some questions that's not been answered, and we do need to know the number of units that we have in Belleville and the percentage of those that are rented, because we need to establish a benchmark so later on down the road, when we do have complaints of loss of business, we have something to compare that to. And, there never is a good time to establish a new tax, but there certainly is a bad time to establish a new tax. And a lot of those comments have been already made, and during this time of COVID and the stress that our citizens and families are undergoing right now, loss of jobs, and yes, storage facilities is a necessity, and it's very real to people who need to use storage for reasons like that. Now, I want to address some unintended consequences, because it's one thing, everyone is addressing a storage facility that you can look at. It's a storage facility, but we've not put this into action, and I don't want to put something into action to find out what the unintended consequences are later. We need to consider that now. There's a lot of things that people, what about somebody who's renting their neighbor's garage to store their vehicle in? What about office space, somebody that rents office space and it's used mainly for storage? What about warehousing? What about renting out the bowling alleys, the lockers in a bowling alley, and the post office? We've got private shipping companies that have mailboxes that are rented. What about those items? And parking stickers for, like, if a college should come back to town, and if a private university, what about parking stickers? Storage lockers inside of a gym. There's just a lot of things to consider here, and I think that we're rushing into it at a bad time, and we need to have a little bit more homework done on what those unintended consequences are in this ordinance, and so I'm going to be voting against it.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else?
Mayor, Alderman Randall.
Yes, sir.
I think that a number of the questions that are being raised by the Alderman here, in many cases, some of them are being addressed in terms of, like, collection and stuff that the city treasurer's office will be able to undertake, much in the same way that you do with hotel motel taxes. I think if folks would read the ordinance, a number of the questions that Alderman Hazel had would be cleared up as well. But for the benefit of those who are not connected to the Ordinance and Legal Committee meeting held September 17, 2020, I'm going to go ahead and give a brief summary of the points I made there. My statement began with the obvious reasons the owners of these facilities get into the business. They expect their investment to provide both significant capital appreciation and cash flow. The anticipated increase in the project value is relative to a number of factors, but closely tied to the total build and land cost upon completion. Another significant factor would be the projected quarterly cash flow. Not to be forgotten is location. With respect to the revenues these places might be able to generate, we don't have a clue about that, nor would we have any information from any retailer regarding specific sales taxes that they report to the state. We don't get that information at our level. Historically, storage has been a recession-resistant business. Many reasons why storage is utilized, and in many instances, I would just frame it as folks in between moves. At the Ordinance and Legal Committee meeting, I left a couple of questions for staff. One, how much net rentable square footage exists in the city of Belleville? Two, what's the difference in square footage between regular units and those that are climate controlled, along with RV space, or it's the latter that appeals to the affluent clientele, providing for higher occupancy rates, resulting in minimal price sensitivity? I was hoping that information would be available this evening. Mayor Eckert provided a statement that rescinded his earlier support and cited COVID-19 and its carnage as compelling reasons not to institute the proposed tax, that it's just not the right time to do so. And we've heard the same from a number of the facility owners. When has there ever been an optimum time to introduce a new tax? I'm not a fan of new taxes, but what is being proposed is negligible in both the amount and impacts a smaller segment of the total population, increasing sales taxes across the city. In addition, at this point in time, none of us know what the new tax levy might be, but I shudder at the prospect the future might hold. Myself and other members of the Ordinance and Legal Committee heard from both the President and other members of the Illinois Self-Storage Association, in effect lobbying against the proposed storage tax. I'm sure members of the City Council have been receiving calls and emails since Ordinance and Legal decided to forward the proposal on to Council for its full consideration. Once again, you've probably heard COVID-19 cited as a reason against the proposed tax. While I'm very aware of the atrocities COVID-19 has heaped upon our communities and our families, I question that defense on this proposal. I've not heard or read an email from any member of the association that has provided their rates, nor a reduction in those fees as a result of COVID-19. Prior to COVID-19, I would imagine such lobbying efforts played a role in successfully keeping such a proposal from being considered seriously by the state legislature. My hope would be that the efforts of Tinley Park in Belleville would be a model for the state to adopt, bringing some degree of fairness, allowing municipalities to collect tax on goods and services previously sheltered from such. As I stated at Ordinance and Legal, the challenge for any management company is to drive economic occupancy rates, increase net income, stabilize cash flows for multi-decade recurring revenue, and create equity value. Any return begins upon completion of development and finding the competitive pricing point. This proposal is minimal when considered in terms of numbers. For example, let's say the unit being rented is $100 per month. Add the additional 5% proposed tax, that raises the cost by $5. $5 divided by 30 days equals 16.7 cents per day. In other words, pennies per day. That hardly seems like a burden we're being asked to believe it creates. If the real reason for opposition be the self-storage facility owners just do not want to have to change their current practices, their business models, and institute the necessary measures to comply, as have other retailers and service providers. This proposal is a step at leveling the playing field and removing a perk enjoyed by so few. I yield back.
Anyone else this evening?
Yeah.
Mayor, this is Alderman Kinsella.
Who's this?
Alderman Kinsella, go ahead.
This is Kinsella.
Kinsella, go ahead. I couldn't make clear the names of the other ones. Go ahead.
Okay, I think the other one was Elmore, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not for tabling this, I'm for just voting against the thing. I don't see why, of all the kinds of businesses in the city of Belleville, we're going after storage facilities in particular. As everybody said, this is a bad time for a tax, but I'd be opposed to this tax simply because it picks out one particular section. Now, if we were doing it for all businesses, that would be different. But even then, this is not the time, and this is not the place. And that's how I feel about it. Thank you.
Okay, was Elmore or Diddleman next? Who was next?
I'll yield to Delman if he has something to say. I do. I too would like to actually table this. And the reason for that is I think we lose contact if we go a year out or 2 years out or whatever we're going to do. We lose contact with what we're doing and we can forget about things. History says that that has happened to us before. And I think the 6 months time will give enough things for the COVID, if that's going to be the reason. The COVID vaccine maybe come through and people to get their jobs back, and we should be a different look as the city goes in the next 6 months, in my opinion. So I would like to see this thing not tabled for a month or anything like that, because I'm not so sure we can get all the information done by that time and get it over to us. But at least we can slow this down a little bit, let everybody get a little bit healthier and know what's going on. And that's where I think we ought to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Elmore, you're next.
Yes, thank you. I don't mean to sound like some obstructionist. I've always been proud of the city council that's currently at the table for having differing opinions, and I think that's healthy. First off, I'd like to commend Mrs. Schaefer. She's been an impressive advocate for her membership of her Illinois Self-Storage Association. And I've not talked to her. I've not received any calls from her, but that's neither here nor there. But I expect nothing less from an association president to be representing her membership and lobbying so hard for them. I'd like to know if COVID is the obstacle. So I guess they're okay with it if once COVID is solved, or there's a vaccine, or we're back to normalcy, because that seems to be the main reason. And to that, again, not to be an obstructionist here, I just would like to point out obvious here that many businesses that do have their customers pay sales taxes, which is most of them. I'm not sure many businesses that don't have a sales tax on it. Certainly cars, bars, restaurants, bars all have sales tax for their paying customers that is paid. They all went through having to continue to stay in business. Some of them even shut down where they couldn't even make an income or make any sales. So they survived COVID, or are trying to survive COVID. It's far from over, but they're still trying to survive that, and they can't use COVID as a reason to not pay their taxes. Today we got a letter out of the blue from the chamber, which I still am trying to figure out. I don't know if she told anybody. I haven't found anybody that has actually asked by the chamber what they thought. On the contrary, all I found was business owners that are adamantly in support of this tax because they feel like they are being charging their customers sales tax, and they're charging their customer. Let's keep that in mind. They're not paying the sales tax. They have the flexibility to charge their customer just like if you would rent a hotel room. So I don't know what the validity of that letter was. In a few months, Jamie Patriot is going to stand before us, and she's going to be talking about tax levies and budgets. And we are going to be
graded by our tax-paying citizens of how we did over the past few years and coming years for a plan for having the tax revenue needed so that that tax levy is as acceptable as possible. There will always be a tax levy. We can approve a 15% storage tax tonight and there's still going to be a tax levy. But if it's a step in the right direction, it's a step in the right direction. And that's why we've been talking about this for 2 years. It wasn't the time when I first brought it forward to the mayor, even though at the time he agreed with it. He studied some more. Now he's not so wild about it. And that's fine. I'm just saying that we have talked it out back and forth several times in several committee meetings. So I think as somebody said earlier, please go back and read that ordinance and please go back and look at the minutes or the recordings. I think Jenny can even pull up for you if you request them. And you'll hear the conversations because I think there were some very good conversations in there. But when we have to vote on that tax levy and it's 7, 8, or 9%, and we could have made it 5 or 6%, whatever it may be, that would be a lot more amicable than saying, look, residents, we didn't have this sales tax in place when we had an opportunity, so you're going to have to pay, a little bit more. Now, again, this storage sales tax is not going to be the end-all be-all answer to anything about a tax levy. But moving in the right direction is moving in the right direction. If you're standing still, you're moving backwards. So 5%, yes, we've had this talked about that it's very, very minimal. A couple other questions that came up already tonight. How many facilities do we have? We have 15 facilities in the city of Belleville. They range anywhere from probably 30% to 70% occupancy. It changes virtually monthly, I'm going to assume. Some are just getting going. Some have been around a while. So there's no way to evaluate how many we're going to rent next year in the city of Belleville, no more than one of our car dealers telling us how many cars they're going to sell in January of 2021. So all we can do is look at the 15 facilities and go from there. The licensed businesses, self-storage, that's what they are. There's nothing to do with bowling alley lockers. But it's a self-storage unit, and we don't know, how many will actually be used. And last but not least, it sounded like there was a motion made, and I get it that there's some sentiment here to table it. I hear it loud and clear. I will say that there was a motion made, and Garrett can give us his advice on that. And so be it. If it's tabled, then we bring it up later. It'll continue to hover over us like a cloud, and that's okay, I guess. So I hope everybody will, if we do table it and we bring it up when COVID is gone or under control better, that we have everybody's fullest attention, because this is important, especially to those storage owners and their customers. And we didn't invent this. We're just taking a good idea and bringing it forth to our budget constraints. That's all I have. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else from the council?
Wait. Yes, real quick. Say for one more time. Today, I was told we have 17 storage facilities. So here's the thing. That's where I'm saying that the details are not ironed out here. I don't think we can vote on something that we don't know true details on.
Okay, and what was the other question?
Very good. I was told 15.
Huh? Wigington, Alderman Wigington, you're next.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. First, I would just like to ask Treasurer Hart. I'm assuming his department would handle the billing on this. Mr. Hart, just wondering, would you be able to absorb this into your daily operations? Mr. Hagberg brought up that would you have to hire additional people? Would you be able to devise a reporting method that could be incorporated into what you do now without any undue pressure on your staff? And then after you answer that question, I just want to say something. So, Treasurer Hart, if you could just elaborate on how your department would handle this.
Well, with the anticipation that with the discussion that was being had, I did do some research on this.
To answer the question you raised was we can certainly handle the receipts of tax monies paid to the city of Belleville on this, just as Alderman Randall mentioned, just as we do with hotel motel tax. We would simply create a spreadsheet, or keep track of every used store facility in the city limits of Belleville, and then maintain records of the income that's received from them, based on a form that I've created. I'm actually looking into doing an online transaction service, which would create even more efficiencies to receive the tax monies that would be collected. We would certainly have the ability, if we feel that the revenue is not where it should be based on the information we have from other used store facilities, to do inspections of the individual companies to ensure that we're receiving the monies owed to the city of Belleville if this tax is in fact passed.
Okay, great. Thank you, Treasurer Hart. I just want to bring up something. I want everybody to make sure, since I'm Chair of Ordinance and Legal, that this is not a money grab. As Alderman Elmore said, this was brought up 2 years ago. We just happened to find a ordinance in Tinley Park that was almost perfect for what we had been talking about for quite a few years. You can only blame COVID-19 on so much. Somewhere along the line, this city and this state has to start moving forward and getting back to doing the business of doing business. If you want a certain standard of living in this city, you want police, fire, and you want your streets taken care of, sometimes you have to step up to the plate. They keep talking about the people that this is going to be a huge burden on. I would like to know what percent that is, because nobody's brought up the fact of what percent of the people that are renting these storage units, it won't affect them at all. In fact, they may not even notice $2.50 a month or $5 a month on their bill. Yeah, you can table it, but you know what happens when you table it? You forget it. So I think that we need to step up to the plate. We need to make a decision tonight. And, this is not going to be the end all, the be all to take care of all of the shortages we're going to have in the city. But I'm going to give you an example. A businessman has been in this business 44 years. So trust me, I get it what you're saying. Retail is going, and restaurants are getting killed right now, beat up big time. The month of July, which is a slow month in retail generally, that month we had to pay our federal taxes July 15th. July 20th, we had to pay sales tax. At the end of July, we had to pay property tax. I worked the whole month of July only to pay taxes. So trust me, I get it. These are big taxes as compared to a 5% with this minimum. So I think maybe this council better look into themselves and make a stand here. And like Alderman Elmore said, we're not talking about storage lockers and bowling alleys. This is one item we're bringing up. If you want to talk about all this other stuff, well, then we'll have to bring it up at a different time. Right now, we are talking about one entity. And we're going to see more of these coming to town. Are they going to continue to take up prime real estate? Are they going to continue to take up buildings, which maybe somewhere down the road could generate retail sales tax? Right now, these are all unanswered questions. But I think right now, we have to have the guts to make the right decision at the right time and not backpedal and make a decision one way or the other. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay. Is anybody else want to speak? Hearing none, Alderman Kinsella.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Hazel, I want to make a couple comments.
Okay.
When I made my comment, I intentionally picked some unintended consequences to provoke thought. I have read the ordinance numerous times, and someone pointed out the bowling alley lockers wouldn't be affected, but according to the ordinance, the secured areas such as rooms, units, compartments, or containers, whether accessible from outside or from within a building that are designated for the use of an occupant where the occupant can store and retrieve property, including self-storage units, mini storage units, and areas by any other name. I don't see in the exclusions where it would rule that out. There are a lot of unintended consequences. Many people make the statement that we have to pass the ordinance to find out what the unintended consequences are, and I'm not willing to do that. Now, we aren't blaming this on COVID, that we don't want to pass this because of COVID, but the effect of COVID is real. The effects financially on people is real. Loss of jobs, loss of income, loss of property, and the need to store their stuff in a time of need, a greater time of need than what's typically realized by most people. This is a poor time. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Kinsella, I know you're not in the building, but if you can picture this, I'm going to ask you to take my chair. I'm going to walk around the front so I can speak. If you'll consider recognizing me, the gavel is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I guess the walking around is just a figure of speech, but if you're ready, I recognize you.
Okay, I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to clear up a couple things. First of all, Garrett, if we table it, it has to come back in the next meeting, right, Garrett?
That's generally what would happen. It sounds like you do have a motion to table made by Alderman Obian, seconded by both Alderman Schaefer and Alderman Dillman. Under your rules of council, section 30.01, you would take that motion up prior to voting on the actual ordinance. As you would also take up whether you wanted to, your options are you could refer it back to a committee, you could postpone it indefinitely, you could postpone it to a date certain. Those are all the options, but that would take precedence over the.
But can you table it indefinitely?
You have to address those motions.
I was under the impression we can't table it indefinitely.
Well, you call it postpone indefinitely.
Okay.
It's recognized in section 30.01.
Okay, that was the legal question I had. Okay, thank you for that, and I'll recognize when I get back to the chair. Ladies and gentlemen, I did say probably a year ago that it wasn't something I had come up with at the time, and that I thought we should look into it. Now, I do agree with many things said tonight. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. I don't deny that, but I'm going to tell you this. You can say what you want, but COVID has had a major impact on my staff and on the jobs we're able to get done the last 8 months. And I can't go into details, and I don't send you a list each week on how many people are absent from work, but we've had some real challenges with filling shifts and people being out, people being quarantined, and getting the job done. We've also started out, as you well know, had 56 people furloughed. We still have 21 as this meeting starts tonight. And it has not been easy to get the work done we're doing. I'm not making excuses, but I'm just telling you, we are not at full staff in any department, and I'm worried, and I think Jamie would agree with me. I am still very concerned about revenue. Now, I know you're going to say that, yes, this thing does produce some revenue. We don't know, and there's still some research to do, and it's not big dollars, but my point is, I made the comment, and I kind of felt like by somebody there, I was a little bit being, a little bit jeered. COVID-19 has affected the whole world. It's certainly affected our country, and it's affected Belleville, Illinois, and we got people hurting. We got people dying. We got staff who are hurting. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm totally against this. I don't think it's the right time to add a tax. And if the tax would pass tonight, I can tell you that there'll be some that'll come right back in a few weeks or a few months with literature that gets mailed out that the Eckert administration raised the tax during COVID. I got hit 2 years ago because this council did what the federal and state EPA mandated, and that was to do the sewer repairs. And to get the low interest loans, we had to lock in certain increases on the sewer rates. And when they came around a couple months ago in May and they went up, I had people again making many calls to my office about the increase. And this was terrible during COVID. Well, that was truly something we had to decide several years ago in order to get the low interest loans. But we have that, that's already occurred. And we still, it's correct, we still are gonna have to in December see what the actuaries are, and we're gonna have to deal with the pensions. And I will tell you that the pensions, we are obligated by state legislature to pay the actuary amount. I only hope and pray that they come in where we don't have to raise any levies or find any other money. Now, we have a lot of things facing us, and all I'm saying is, I just don't think it's the right time. I think it's wonderful, but I do think there's also some questions still to be answered. But I don't think the right time is now, whether it's another $5 or $60 or $30, when we've got people furloughed, laid off, whatever terms you want to use, but they're furloughed right now. And we got people who work for the city who are hurting. And believe me, these have not been easy decisions. I would prefer, if we can postpone this indefinitely, that's what I would prefer to do, because I don't think we should talk about raising anything else. We had no choice with the sewer increase. It was already made years ago. And we may not have a choice when it comes to the pensions, because the mayors before me, many of them kicked the can down the road and never paid the proper amount on the pensions, and we're paying the price. So I don't know what the actuaries are gonna be. Jamie and I had a conversation again today, and we both just kind of hate to even see that coming. But I certainly don't, no matter how small, I think it's the principle of the thing. I do not think it's the right time to pass another tax. I don't think people understand. I think they think we don't have a heart. And there's a lot of people right now who are facing some unbelievable decisions about their futures. And I think we ought to study this some more. I think there were some good questions raised tonight. This was a healthy discussion. But I just want you to know, I changed my mind for a reason. And COVID-19, believe me, I've been dealing with it, and my staff and Jenny and all of us, we've been dealing with it every day since this thing hit back in February, and it has not been fun. I thank you for your time. I'm going back to the chair, Mr. Kinsella.
Okay. Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor, this is Wygon,
Yes, sir.
and this is for Garrett too. I've been listening to everything, and I'd like to say, can we table this and have a time period on it 6 months from now and bring it up?
Garrett?
Actually, yeah, if you have a date certain, you would call it a motion to postpone, and you would select that date certain. It's under your rules of council in 30.01, but it says one of the contemplated motions is to defer or postpone to a time certain. You look under 30.01R.
So I never recognized, I know they spoke up, several of them, but I kept hearing things tabled, and I heard it by 2 or 3. You know, I I guess, yeah, we could say that, who was the first one, Jenny, that said it? The table, use the word table.
It was Alderman Ovian.
Who's that?
Alderman Ovian.
Ovian made the, okay. Ovian and then Schaefer. So do you folks wish to postpone, because it's probably not accurate to table indefinite like that, but do you wish to postpone and give a time limit?
6 months, Mayor.
Yes.
Wigginton,
Yes.
Alderman Wigginton, is it okay? Can I make a motion that we postpone this to the second city council meeting of March of 2021?
This is Alderman Rothweiler. I would support that change from Alderman Wigginton as I seconded the original motion.
Do the other people, Alderman Ovian and Alderman Schaefer, do you yield? I did not officially recognize the earlier comments because everybody was talking, getting their voices in, and I actually didn't take action on the word table. So I'm yielding to the city attorney again. Garrett, we have two people that would like to postpone to the second meeting of March. Would the rest of you yield to that decision, or do you want to go back to?
Mayor,
Well, because it's the original, it was originally, I believe, Alderman Wigginton that moved to approve.
Yes.
And Alderman Rothweiler seconded.
Yes.
And they've just modified their motion.
That's what they just did.
So I don't.
So we have a modified motion coming from the original Alderman Wigginton and the second by Rothweiler to revisit this the second council meeting of March 2021. Is there further discussion on that revised motion by the original people?
This is Alderman Rothweiler. The only questions I would have, Mr. Mayor, is if we could have city staff answer Alderwoman Schaefer's questions regarding the amount expected, that type of thing. We would have that information prior to the second council meeting in March of next year, so that's
we will certainly
ready for us.
Alderman Rothweiler, we will do that, but once again, if some of you aldermen have been working on some details, please share them with us, because right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know which staff person I can throw this to that has a lot of room on their plate if you're giving me a week or 2 weeks or 30 days. Now, I will be glad to do this, but I can tell you, we've got some real challenges with personnel in the near future here as we approach the winter, but we can do it. I just need to figure out between Jamie and between, a couple of us, we have to figure out who can get this investigated, and in some cases, it might take some physically going out and taking an inventory of some of these. So, yes.
Mr. Mayor, we're going to need that budget time, and that's why I asked, because the budget will be coming out in the spring. So we're going to need that information. I think several months, should be a reasonable time.
I agree with you. I think we can get it done. I think we can get it done by budget time without a problem. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mayor, Alderman Wigginton.
Yes.
Alderman Wigginton, that's why I picked March, because if we did it in April, that's right at the end of our fiscal year.
Yeah, no,
and
I agree.
I think we need time. We need time to discuss it. And nobody can predict what's going to happen the next 5 months. Who knows? The pandemic may go away as of January 1st. Who knows? But I think that in your discussion with your staff, you need to start earmarking somebody to start. And if somebody's got to go out and physically count them, that's what we're going to have to do, because we need to know how many. And I understand what everybody's saying. We need more information. Well, when we come back in March, we need all the information. It's got to be there so that we can have, and this has been a great discussion. I'm certainly willing to move this forward, but we got to have answers by March.
Okay. So hang on. In all this conversation, my longtime friend and city clerk has said she will take on the project. So That just solves where I stick it, where I place this with staff. So Jenny's going to help me.
There you go. Thank you, Jenny.
We'll get this done. We have a motion to postpone to the second meeting of March, and we have a second.
minute.
Yes. Yes?
Alderman Ovian, I would like to see an answer to our fee structure, and I would go along with this proposal.
Okay.
But we need to know what our fees are in comparison to the other communities that I named. And I think it's fair. We are undervalued right now.
Are you talking all fees? Are you talking all fees?
I'm sorry?
Are you talking all fees?
Yes, sir. Fees, especially in the engineering department, when people bring in plans. Also, some of the fees that we don't even make a charge for, Jamie can take a look at it. It's right there. I mean, I'm not kidding you. We are leaving money on the table to the point where if we don't start upgrading our fee structure, what are we doing as a community? We're going to have to go back to the people and raise the real estate taxes. I don't want to do that.
We don't charge any real estate taxes that go to the general fund, basically. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Alderman Ovian, but we'll have to deal with that, and I'll talk to staff, and we will work on that. But I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I have to defend our staff. They are all pulling out their hair the last year. It's been a very unique 12 months, 9 months. It's just been unbelievable. So we got a motion and a second to move this to March, to postpone it to the second meeting of March. We got our city clerk to agree to do the research for us and help me get answers to you. And beyond that, we'll try to get some of these other things that are on your mind, and we'll try to get back to the table. But I'm going to be honest with you. We've been busy as heck just trying to keep the services at the pace we have for our community, for our citizens, because it's been tough. So if there's no further questions, I'd like to call for roll call.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wigington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
No.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa, Pusa, Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
I hope we come up with an answer on the question, so I'm going to give you the benefit, vote aye. But boy, I hope and pray to God we get some answers
Dillman,
regarding.
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele.
Aye.
Motion's postponed to the second meeting of March. We go on to the next thing, communications. Madam Clerk?
Songs for a Summer Evening, 9/24/2020 and 10/1/2020. Request from Belleville Philharmonic to host Songs for a Summer Evening, Thursday, September 24th, 2020, and Thursday, October 1st, 2020, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 300 East E Street. Street closure request, half block east from 300 East E to alley. Alley access not to be blocked. Half block south from 300 East E on Court Street. Entrance to 500 block of Court Street not to be blocked, 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Additional request of barricades and no parking signage.
Do I hear a motion?
Duco.
Duco, do I hear a second?
Schaefer.
Schaefer. We have a motion and a second to approve this communication coming from our Philharmonic. Any additional questions? Roll call.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Wiggington, Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have no petitions, we have no resolutions. I'd ask for a motion to read by title only. Ordinances number 8870, 8871, 8872, 8873.
8872.
I'm sorry, 8872 has been tabled. Yes, so, let's go back. I'm asking for a motion to read by title only. Ordinance 8870, 8871, 8873, 8874, and 8875.
Needs to be tabled.
That's tabled also, so, okay, everybody follow that? It's 15A, 15B, 15D, and 15E to read by title only, and as a group, if there's no problem? Anybody wanna make a motion?
Ovian.
Ovian made the motion. Who made the second? Don't everybody speak up? Schaefer. We have a motion and a second to read those ordinances 15A, 15B, 15D, and 15E by title only and as a group. Roll call.
Elmore,
I wanna say all in favor.
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler.
Aye.
Motion carries. Unfinished business?
Nope, I gotta read them.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to move too fast now. Go ahead and read these ordinances that we just read by title only.
Ordinance 8870, 2020, an ordinance amending chapter 76 parking schedules of the revised ordinances of the city of Belleville, Illinois, as amended by amending portions of sections thereof. 15B, ordinance 8871, 2020, an ordinance amending chapter 76 parking schedules of the revised ordinances of the city of Belleville, Illinois, as amended by amending portions of sections thereof. Ordinance 8873, 2020, an ordinance amending chapter 76 parking schedules of the revised ordinances of the city of Belleville, Illinois, as amended by amending portions of sections thereof. Ordinance 8874, 2020, an ordinance authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of general obligation refunding bonds, series 2020, of the city of Belleville, Illinois, providing for the levy and collection of an annual tax for the purpose of paying the principal of and interest on said bonds as they become due, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Do I hear a motion to approve ordinance 8870, 71, 73, and 74?
Steele.
Steele.
Steele, and who was the second? Who was the second? Who is it? Schaefer. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the ordinances as just read. Roll call.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa, Pusa, Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Pusa.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion's carry. Unfinished business. Mr. City Attorney, should we vote to table the two ordinances, or has that just been assumed in dialogue?
There's no need for another vote.
Okay,
You took
very
care
good.
of it through the motions.
Okay, we have unfinished business. I don't know of any. Miscellaneous and new business. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the motor fuel claims in the amount of $83,689.04. Do I hear a motion?
Ferguson.
Ferguson, and who was the second? Second?
Gentlemen.
Dintelman, very good. We have a motion and a second to pay the motor fuel claims. If there's no further discussion or questions about the motor fuel claims, roll call.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant.
Aye.
Motion carries. Before I ask for a motion to go in executive session, I just want to inform you that Jenny and I had a phone conference today with people from the Chris Kindle Market. And after careful discussion, and we talked to Garrett last week, and we talked to the health department, and we looked at IDPH. It's been decided that to be safe, there's no possible way we can keep the numbers down within, even if our current restrictions are lifted and we go back to 50, it's impossible to keep the Chris Kindle Market at 50 people. It would be impossible to keep it safe and to keep those numbers and not to be in violation, setting the wrong example for everybody else. We hate it, but there's just no way that we can accommodate it this year. So that was a decision made today, with people from the committee. We move on now, and I ask for a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing appointments, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees under 5 ILCS 120/2C1, collective negotiation matters, 5 ILCS 120/2C2, and personnel, litigation, workers' compensation, property acquisition or transfer of property, 5 ILCS 120/2C. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
Steele, so moved.
Steele and who else? Wygant. Steele and Wygant made the motion and second to go in executive session for those reasons. Roll call.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dillman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield.
Aye.
Motion carries. If you all will dial into the executive session number, and then, folks, we will be back because we'll have some potential motions when we go back into the general meeting. So we'll talk to you in just a minute. We'll take roll call. Back in regular session, open session, and I'm going to ask Jenny to please call the roll so we know everybody's back, or who isn't.
Kinsella,
Here.
Hazel,
Here.
Duco, Pusa,
Here.
Randall,
Here.
Ferguson,
Here.
Anthony,
Here.
Ovian,
Here.
Dillman,
Here.
Schaefer, Schaefer, Steele,
Here.
Rothweiler,
Here.
Elmore,
Here.
Wygant,
Here.
Wigington, Barfield,
Here.
Duco,
Here.
Schaefer. She just texted she can't get back in, so she'll keep trying.
Okay, what about Steele?
She was here.
Okay, very good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in open session. And as pertaining to 18B, I'm going to ask if someone's willing to make a motion to approve a workman's compensation settlement in the amount of $23,439.75. If we can approve that, then the attorney will try to get that all finalized. Is there someone willing to make that motion?
Being so moved.
Ovian made the motion. Do I hear a second? Pusa made the second. We have a motion and a second to approve a workman's compensation settlement in the amount of $23,439.75. No, okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? Roll call.
Schaefer's here.
What's that? Schaefer's here. Very good. Okay, roll call.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dillman,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Abstain.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Motion carries. 18C, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to recall union members from the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Local 1765 Library Employees Bargaining Unit concerning bargaining unit member furloughs pursuant to Article 2, Section 5.b thereof, and recall union employees Tamitha Patterson, Christina DeBoer, Crystal Hill, Carmen Murphy, and Melena Harmon from unpaid furlough status effective September 22nd, 2020. Do I hear a motion?
Rothweiler moves.
Rothweiler, do I hear a second?
Steele?
Steele made the second. Are there any discussions on this second motion under 18C? Roll call.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve that motion, dealing with the first motion here, 18C. The next thing is under 18D, I would ask for a motion to terminate the memorandum of understanding and to approve the reduction in force by layoff of the following city library employees effective November 1st, 2020, pursuant to Article 2, Section 5.b of the collective bargaining agreement between the city and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 1765, based upon economic necessity. Laura Blaze, Connie Fitzgerald, Kathleen Gearies, that's correct, okay. Edward Gilman, Christina Gutierrez, Stephanie Lizakowski, Aaron Lubers, and Renee Powers. Do I hear a motion dealing with that recommendation?
Kinsella moved.
Who's that? Kinsella?
Kinsella.
Pusa. Okay, do I hear a second? Do I hear a second on the motion to 18D?
Kinsella.
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 So we had a motion by Pusa and second by Kinsella as to what I just read under 18D. Are there any questions? Roll call.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco.
Aye.
Motion carries. 18E, I'd ask for a motion to terminate the memorandum of understanding between the City of Belleville and the Fraternal Order of Police, Labor Council, Telecommuters, and Secretaries effective October 1st, 2020, and the person that had been laid off, or had been furloughed, but now has resigned is Heather Kessler. Do I hear a motion for that, for that recommendation?
Anthony, so moved.
I thought I heard Randall.
Randall? Was Randall the first one?
Yes, Anthony.
Who is the second? Anthony?
Anthony?
Anthony. We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any further questions pertaining to 18E? Roll call.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. 18F. That's the last one, right?
Correct.
At this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve a reduction in force by layoff of a non-union employee, Ray Prockshaw, effective November 1st, 2020. Do I hear a motion?
Anthony.
Anthony, do I hear a second? Diddleman made the second. Any discussion on this last motion? Roll call.
I'm sorry, what department was that again?
It was the police department.
Thank you, that's what I thought. All right.
Roll call.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco,
Aye.
Pusa,
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Ferguson.
Elmore?
Ferguson and Elmore. Any discussion about adjournment? Roll call.
Anthony,
Aye.
Ovian,
Aye.
Dintelman,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Steele,
Aye.
Rothweiler,
Aye.
Elmore,
Aye.
Wygant,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Duco, Pusa,
Aye.
Randall,
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know those are some tough topics. Thank you.